Good morning, Rotarians. Thank you for joining us. This club meeting is called to order. So shortly, I'll be sharing my screen and leading us through another fun presentation to direct the conversation. And periodically, I'll bring it down so we can see each other's beautiful and friendly faces and have more dialogue. And maybe feel free to speak like you would in a normal meeting, but if you're not using your microphone, put yourself on mute, Rick Center.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me now?
I'll mute you for a club fine, okay? So.
I'm muting, hold on.
All right.
Can you hear me now?
I can find
Yes, we hear you. Sorry, Pernille was asking if we heard her. Yes.
But you don't see me, right? Oh.
I want to know why Bob Judevine's like frozen. He's like a little stiff this morning.
We see you and we hear you.
Perfect. Sorry, I had some technical issues, but hello, everyone.
Well,
good morning, Pernille.
Hi, Pernille.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy that I can join today.
Awesome. Hey,
I will mute myself now as well.
Oh yeah, no worries, no worries. We'll let you take over soon because I know you have a short window of time that you can be here. But let's just start out the meeting. Once again, good morning, everybody. And I'm going to do a little screen share so we can do our kind of opening routine. Awesome. Okay. Well, welcome to the Fortuna Rotary Club meeting for September 16th, 2020. That's volume 12 of my presidential year. We have an amazing Rotary Club, and I am so thankful to be a part of it. So at this time, I'll bring down the screen and we'll do some introductions of visiting Rotarians and guests. We've got Pernille is visiting.
Yay!
He's a past Rotary Youth Exchange student from Denmark.
Yes, hello, everyone. And it's both me and Nora here. Just hold on one second. Oh, hello. Here we are. That's me, Nora here. Hello.
Say hi to Nora.
Hey. Hi, Nora. Hi. Hi. With a little hiccup.
And we also have Ruth Ann Schulte, who's past president and Fortuna Sunrise Rotarians. Say hello to Ruth Ann.
Good morning, everyone.
Thanks so much for joining us. And let's see, do one quick, oh, we also have Diana Rios from the Fortuna Noon Club. Thank you for joining us, Diana. All right, real quick, I'll go back to the screen share and we will pass it over to Pernille momentarily. Okay, awesome. So yes, we've got an awesome club. Thank you so much for joining us. At this time, we typically be doing the flag salute. But since the meeting is virtual, I've been doing a little American history lesson. So did you know that on this day in 1981, hundreds of anti-nuclear protesters invaded the Diablo Canyon nuclear reactor in California? And today, after 560 arrests the day before, they continued in their protests of the blockade of the reactor. When they were arrested, they did not put up any resistance, though. They just walked up to the waiting police at the demonstration and would not allow any of the protesters who were violent in their ranks. So a little bit of history there. All right. Inspirational message. We'll turn it over to Aaron Dunn this morning.
Good morning, everybody. In honor of our guest today from miles away, and I wanted to do something that was about travel and her experience. Maya Angelou had a great thought that I wanted to share with everyone today. Perhaps travel cannot prevent bigotry, but by demonstrating that all peoples cry, laugh, eat, work, and die, it can introduce the idea that if we try to understand each other, we may even become friends. So
Yay.
That's in honor of Pernille today.
Yay.
That was amazing. Thank you, Aaron. And we'll turn it over to Frank Ramos for the four-way test this morning.
Thanks, Simon. So the things we think, say, or do in Rotary, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Yeah. Well done, Frank. Thank you so much. Let's see, events coming up. We have the district governor's visit. That will be October 14th, and it will definitely be via Zoom. We will be setting up the details of that shortly. Board members will also be having a board meeting the night before. So put that in your calendar as well. That'd be October 13th. And we'll see what his schedule looks like and take it from there. Also, October 24th is World Polio Day. And we had a meeting of the minds of the kind of polio subcommittee to talk about what we could do for fundraising, since Purple Pinky Day and Pints for Polio are probably a no-go this year. So we were kind of doing some soul searching on how we could do something fun, and we decided to do a flocking event, which has been kind of popular. Safe and Sober did it recently, but instead of pink flamingos, we're going to do purple flamingos. So be looking out. There'll be a form I'll sit out later today for people that want to maybe volunteer for that. There'll be a couple of roles and responsibilities, somebody to kind of organize where the flock of purple flamingos are going, and then also some people to put them out in people's yards. And also you could sign up to say, I want to be flocked. So let us know and be looking for that form, okay? And let's see. We're going to turn it over to our program chair, Erin Dunn, this morning, who's going to introduce this week's program.
It gives me great pleasure this morning to introduce our guest, who's chiming in all the way from Denmark. Pernille was our exchange student from 2009 to 2010. She is a Paul Harris Fellow and a new mother, and she's going to fill us in on what she's been up to these past years. We're so excited to see you and Nora this morning. Pernille, thank you for joining us. So now you're on.
Yeah, I just needed to unmute. So hello everyone, and thank you, Erin, for the introduction and for the inspirational words this morning. Well, first of all, I just want to say how great it is to be at a Fortuna Sunrise Rotary meeting again. I guess that something good comes out of Corona sometimes, because then, you know, we have all this Zoom and Teams where we can join from all over the world. So I'm just so happy that I was able to join this morning. And I cannot believe that it has been 10 years since I was traveling home. So this is actually a reunion for me. And it's just great to see so many of your faces that I actually recognize even here 10 years after. So that was just a short introduction, and I guess everyone who wasn't at Fortuna Sunrise 10 years ago, well, you know my name now. It's Pernille, and I was an exchange student 10 years ago. So Erin asked me if I could make a presentation or just talk what I've been doing for the last 10 years. And I thought that I would start out with just make a little short presentation of who I was back then before I traveled to United States, and who I was in the United States, and then who I became after Rotary Youth Exchange Program. So today I am 27 years old, and I am from Denmark. I am from Randers, but today I live in Aarhus, which is the second biggest city in Denmark, just 30 minutes away from where I grew up. So Denmark is quite small, so you can't really be that far away from home. So I didn't go that far away, just 30 minutes away. And as Erin's just said, I'm a newly mom. So I have Nora here with me. She's on my arm a little bit, not wanting to sleep, but let's see how it goes. So who was I then 10 years ago, which is actually 9 years ago now, because it was in 2009 that I moved to Fortuna. I was 16 years old and traveling alone to United States, in the United States for the first time, but also traveling alone for the first time. And then I ended up in Fortuna, which seemed to be a nice place. I didn't know much about it before I went, but how a great place I ended up in, and especially in Fortuna Sunrise Rotary Club. So who did I become while I was living in Fortuna? Well, I was a very active Rotary member. I will almost say. I joined the meetings in Fortuna Sunrise pretty much every Wednesday morning, except for those days where I was not in Fortuna. I was living with Erin as my first host mom. And then after that, I lived with the Winter Homes and, the Witchards and then the Winter Homes. And yeah, that was a really great experience. I was, for the first time, not in my normal surroundings, not in my comfort zone. But what I got from being an exchange student was this huge, big international network. Also because of being a part of the Rotary Youth Exchange, where we meet everyone who's in the same district and we travel around in United States. Yes, so who did I become after that year in Fortuna? Well, after that, I really didn't want to just be at home in Denmark. It gave me the courage to wanting always to go travel around and see the world and also live in another country. So after I got home, I finished my high school, which is called Gymnasium in Denmark. And then after that, I moved to Berlin, which is the capital of Germany. And I lived there for 9 months, working at a coffee shop and just, kind of having a year in between gymnasium, high school, and starting university. Then after my 9 months in Berlin, I actually joined a short Rotary trip to India. I guess they call them short-term exchange. So that was a trip to the northeast of India, where we traveled around. It was youth between 22 and 25 years old, young adults from all over Europe and United States, traveling around with a guide from a Rotary Club in Kolkata. So that was actually also another way of using the youth exchange in Rotary, and I knew of it because of my Rotary Club back in Randers. So I had an amazing experience traveling around there, and also in Nepal, and we got to see another side of India, I guess, than what you would normally see when you just travel as a tourist. And that is just a typical Rotary way of experiencing the world, I really thought. So we got to see some of the insights, and also just see how you can live in a very different way than what we do here in the Western world, but actually still be very happy. So after my travel in India and Nepal, I moved back to Denmark, and I started my studies here in Aarhus. And I started studying physics. I started with my bachelor degree, in just normal physics. And then after that, I started my master's degree in physics. And again, I really wanted to live somewhere else than in Denmark. So I moved to Brisbane and I did an exchange in Brisbane, yes, at a university there where I did 1 semester of my master's degree. And there I started doing medical physics, which is a branch within physics where you do radiation, or you study radiation for treatment for cancer. And actually also while I was living in Brisbane, I was living with Katie, who was a Rotary Youth Exchange in my house after I got home from United States. So after I got home, we had an exchange student, and that was Katie from Brisbane. So once again, I was able to use my network from my youth exchange in Rotary. So that was just a great way again to be living somewhere, but already have a friend, already have family, and have an insight to what it's like to live in Brisbane or in Australia. And I really got to be able to travel around with Katie as well and visit her family around Australia, and also visiting other youth exchange, previous youth exchange students I got to know while I was living in United States. So after I got home from Brisbane, I finished my master's and I did my master thesis at a particle, hold on, how do you say that? It was a Danish Center for Particle Therapy. So it's a form of treatment, radiation treatment for cancer, where you use protons and other heavier particles instead of photons. And it was just opening in Denmark. So it was a really great experience and great opportunity to be a part of the new center where they were treating younger children with brain tumors. Before that, they had to actually, the children in Denmark were treated in Houston in United States, because that's where the best treatment was. So now we were able to treat them here in Denmark again, or not again, but treat them in Denmark instead of in Houston. And then after I finished my thesis, I was actually gonna start doing my PhD. But I have also been working at a software company while I was studying. So I ended up getting a full-time position at this company. It's called Systematic, and they make software solutions for hospitals, kind of an electronic patients journals, and also other software solutions for libraries and other private and public sections. So I actually started working there instead of doing a PhD, where I am working as a data scientist and working with projects where we're trying to make some of the solutions into machine learning solutions also. So I am working today with something quite different than actual physics, but it's working with big data, a lot of data analysis. So I'm really excited about this job. And then just as I was starting there, I got pregnant with this little baby here, which is Nora, and she is 7 weeks tomorrow. So right now I am on maternity leave, and in Denmark I think we are very, very fortunate, because we have leave 4 weeks before our due date, And then we have 46 weeks after due date. So after the baby is born. So it's, I mean, we are so spoiled. I will be home until April, and then my boyfriend Ludwig, he will take the last 13 weeks or 3 months. He will stay home from April till August. So that's the way in Denmark. That's how we do it. We're able to stay at home for almost a year of the child's life. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm being a mother, and which is also a great thing. We actually had 10 years. How do you say that? Reunion at the high school this year. So I was invited to go to Fortuna this June, but because of, well, I wasn't able to go because I was 8 months pregnant, but they was unfortunately canceled due to, of course, everything is canceled right now. But it will be postponed to maybe next year. We'll have to see how everything goes. But if everything allows the world to be traveling and mobile again, I will hopefully be visiting next year or in the near future. But what I forgot to say is some other parts that, or some other things that are in my life today because of my exchange. I have a good friend, Madison, who I met in Fortuna. She has been visiting me 2 years ago here in Denmark, and we're still in contact, and we still want to see each other again. I've also been when I was back 4 years ago for Aaron's district conference, I was also visiting Madison. So she's today one of my really good friends. Also, I met a girl, Naima. Aaron, you probably remember Naima. She was from Sweden and living in Clear Lake. Yeah, she was living in Clear Lake when I was in Fortuna. And we've been visiting each other back and forth. She's gonna be here for Nora's baptism. Yeah, so that's just another friend that is a lifelong friendship after my year then in Fortuna. So it's been a busy 10 years, but I think I am who I am today. I've been doing what I have been doing the last 10 years because of that year in Fortuna and with Rotary Youth Exchange. So what will I be going on forward? I think I will probably, I see myself joining a Rotary club in a near future. We have these also Rotaract clubs here in Aarhus. I have also been part of a Rotaract club in Randers. We started one up after I got home, but I really hope that I can be a part of Rotary also in my future. And then I just hope that I can keep expanding my international network and family, and hopefully just keep in contact with the one that I already have in Fortuna. And yes, I hope now more than ever I will be closer to my Fortuna family. And now she's sleeping because I'm just talking and talking. I guess that helps when you just talk. So that's me today and what I've been up to. I'm happy to answer any questions, and if I missed something, just please ask me.
Thank you,
Pernille, this is Ross.
Hi,
So,
Ross.
hello, after your 46 weeks maternal leave, do you maintain the same position at your work?
Yes. Yes, I do. I mean, you would never be allowed to actually not, you can't be fired, or you can't, of course there could be, you can be rotated in within the positions, but I'm working in a private company, and I mean, my position is there when I get back. They hired someone in to just do my job while I'm away. I don't know what you call that, but like a substitute, I guess. So yeah, I will go back to my same work. I also, you get, depending on where you're working, you also get full salary for some of your leave. So I will have full salary for until January, and then after that you kind of something from the state, something from the government. Yeah.
Pernille, this is Rick. What time is it where you are?
It's 4:30 p.m.
In the AM?
No, p.m.
PM? Okay.
Yeah, so it's in the afternoon. But actually, she's been sleeping really well, so I'm not super exhausted. She's sleeping 8-7 hours every night.
Oh.
She has a really good sleeping heart, you say here in Denmark, and it's not from me. I mean, I would normally wake up at 5, go to bed at 11. I mean, I don't know, remember, Erin, but I didn't. I mean, I didn't sleep much, but she's sleeping a lot, so I think I'm quite fortunate in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Pernille, John Sapper here.
Hi, John.
What a wonderful update and a beautiful baby, and well, I certainly appreciate you spending time with us here today. I do have one question as you look at all of us and that you remember from 10 years ago. Do we all still look the same?
You look exactly the same. You haven't changed a bit. No, but actually it's
I'll vote for you for office too.
Thank you. But it's crazy though. Actually, I mean, I recognize, like, I was just scrolling through all the people who's joined here. Like, there's so many faces that I recognize, and you do look the same. I'm not just saying that to be nice. I mean, I'm not here today to get any money from you, or I don't have anything to sell.
Pernille, who was your club president at Fortuna Sunrise when you were here?
It was John, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's funny because when he started speaking, we all fell asleep too.
Oh. We haven't changed a bit with jokes, have we?
That was funny, Ross.
Pernille, I got a question. You know, an exchange year is full of all these awesome things too, but it's also got some challenges. What was maybe a challenge that you went through and you feel like you grew as a person from that adversity, you know?
I think what I learned, and what I think was the most important thing that I learned while I was away, was the fact that I was able to go somewhere where I didn't know anyone and then actually build up a life. So when you go and you don't know it, of course you don't live by yourself. You live with a family, and you're going to go to school. But that was definitely something that I was most surprised about. Maybe not surprised is not the right word, but what I thought afterwards was how amazing it is that I was somewhere where I didn't know anyone, and I was still able to build this life for myself. And I think that's something that I've definitely used afterwards, that okay, you can go anywhere, and if you just have yourself and you're comfortable where you are at, then you can build up something for yourself. But it was there was challenges, of course, and there was the fact that being away from everyone you knew back home, your family and friends, that's always going to be a challenge. But I think I was just talking to my dad just an hour ago. I was mentioning that I had this meeting today, and we were talking about how different it is today, 10 years after, because we didn't have iPhones. So you couldn't FaceTime. You couldn't just, we didn't even text back and forth. It was, I mean, because we talked about it because he has just yesterday, he read some of my emails that I sent back home when I was in Fortuna. And, you know, I would write these long emails, I think once every second week. And then sometimes we would Skype. But today I think you have Facebook, you have Messenger, you can, and it's free because of internet texting. You can just always be in contact with everyone at home. And that wasn't really possible 10 years ago, 10 years ago. So I think that's an advantage in some way, of course, that we can today, but in respect to like the whole youth exchange, I think it was much better back then because you had to be there where you were and you couldn't really just be following up on everything that was going on at home.
That's a very thoughtful look at it, for sure. It's definitely one of the challenges we have with the program these days.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah. Wow. Well, it was awesome hearing what's going on and how youth exchange changed your life, and just what an excellent human being you are. So thank you so much for joining us this morning, and baby Nora.
Yeah, well, she'll say goodbye as well. Let me see if I can just have one little look at her. Here she is, sleeping. But I was so happy that I could join today. I mean, that was I'm so happy when Aaron asked me. Hopefully I will be able to join an actual physical meeting in, I don't know how the future is going to look. You never know, but I'm hoping for the best.
Yeah, if we knew what the future held right now, we'd all be very rich.
Well, I'm hoping the best for United States. We're following everything really closely here in Denmark with what is going on in United States as well. So, take care, everyone, and thank you so much for having me. And just great to see you.
Great to see you, Pernille.
Great to see you. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye now.
All right. Well, let's keep on keeping on with the meeting here. I'm going to go back to the screen share. Awesome. Hey, look here. The Fortuna Sunrise board members have approved a donation of $4,800 to Fortuna Union High School District to help students out with internet access. So there is some funding for what they call learning loss mitigation for COVID, but it doesn't cover the actual data plans to get people internet access. So our club made the motion. It was definitely something near and dear to one of our board members, Walt Jackman. He was definitely leading the charge through this whole thing and keeping it top of mind. And we made some action, and we stroked a check to the district to get the most disadvantaged students some internet access. That's a really cool thing that's going on. Does anybody have, I'm going to stop the share. Does anybody have any announcements, things going on in their life that they would like to share with the club? All right, I'll give you a couple more seconds. All right, we'll go back to the regularly scheduled program. So, being an art educator and the Rotary president, my theme has been exploring art in the world and looking at different artists. And this week we are going to be looking, our featured artist this week is David Choe. And we'll keep looking at some of his work here if I can get the slide going. There we go. So his early life and career, Choe was born in Los Angeles to parents that were Korean immigrants, and they were born again Christians. He spent his childhood in Koreatown, LA, and briefly attended the California College of Arts. He starred in an online series called Thumbs Up, where he was filmed hitchhiking and freight hopping from Los Angeles to Miami, from Tijuana to Alaska. He also hitchhiked from China to Beijing to Shenzhen, and also the gambling mecca of Macau. He was also featured on Parts Unknown with the late Anthony Bourdain, And that hitchhiking series was how I first got introduced to him. It was just fascinating seeing kind of like this myth that, you know, a lot of times now we think hitchhikers, there's like this negative connotation about them, and he would just, you know, drop everything, carry a bag basically, or backpack across the United States. And he had all these like pro tips on how to survive doing it. And it was really interesting just seeing, you know, rural America through the eyes of this hitchhiking artist. It was a really interesting series. So the art pieces we've got here are some of his earlier work. The two on the right are watercolors, and he uses a wet on wet technique. So he'll paint with water on the surface of the paper without any marks, any pencil, any paint, and then he'll load his brush with watercolor paint and hit it into the wet area, and the paint just kind of explodes and does these really like uncontrolled expressionistic stuff. And so it's very difficult because you have to visualize what's going on without really looking at it on the paper. And he just does an amazing job at kind of taking these abstract things and making them into illustrations. His popularity and personality are proven to draw audiences. In 2012, Choe was dubbed the Prince of All Media by Howard Stern after appearing on a show where he became one of the year's most popular new guests, while a documentary about his life, Dirty Hands, became the most attended film at the Los Angeles Film Festival that year. It premiered and further garnered multiple sold-out showings at the Museum of Modern Art in New York. Since 2008, Choe has dedicated many of his works to charity and has collaborated with foundations to support their local causes. Fundraising for Haiti at the Yele Haiti, a foundation where that was funded by Wyclef Jean. He painted with the children of the Lide Haiti Foundation and also the children of South Central LA at APCH. And here in the bottom left-hand corner, they've got a picture of him doing artwork with these children in Haiti. The center picture there kind of looks like some kind of mammal or I don't know, a boar or something. That was actually done with the brushes of a broom. He would put paint on the end of a broom and paint with the tips of it. And on the right, we've just got this gorgeous tone paper with a very colorful illustration there. So, and we're going to go to our final slide where we have a Rotarian from our group do a little critique, talk about the medium and whatnot. And this morning we'll be calling on Rotarian Kurt Weiss. Kurt, are you with us this morning? Give you a second to unmute.
Here I am.
Hey, Kurt. It's my turn to pick on you this morning. Tell me what you think about this David Choe piece called Charles Bukowski, Don't Try.
Well, just a little humor. It looks like me first thing in the morning. But
that's good. We see ourselves in art. I love it.
Don't try. Well, the expression on his face is like, I mean, I guess the title of it's Don't Try is like, maybe he's given up, something like that.
Okay.
The colors are really interesting. You're talking about how he does that where it's wet and it flows. Mm-hmm. You can really see it on this one.
Yeah, yeah. That was great. That was great. Thank you so much, Kurt.
Okay.
I think you did great talking about the color, the painting techniques there. You found yourself in the piece. Those are all good things. A couple of things maybe could have mentioned there. Charles Bukowski was actually a writer. So this is a self-portrait or a portrait of a writer, not a self-portrait. And Don't Try was actually his epitaph. But the meaning behind that wasn't really a negative one. It was more like, don't try, just do, right? You know, don't attempt to do things, just do them. So that interesting look at what that actually means to the artist and the writer there. So thank you, Kurt. I think $10 fine. How about that?
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right. And moving on here, we're going to do a game of Guess the Artist. This is probably going to be the easiest one I've done so far. And I kind of kind of floundered this week on getting to do the blue badge ceremony for Greg Barkdale. So I'm going to throw you a bone here, Greg. You still with us, Dr. Barkdale?
You want me to guess the artist for all three?
No. You just got to pick one. Is it 1, 2, or 3? Okay, so Greg, who doesn't admire the shine of gold, which has been a symbol of illumination, love, compassion, and wealth? Well, artist Gustav Klimt was the most known for his use of gold. Greg Barkdale, can you tell us which of these art pieces was done by Gustav Klimt? Was it
okay. Well, it's not number 1 because that's not gold. That's just yellow.
Okay.
Number 2 is like some kind of super photorealism stuff. So I'm gonna pass on that. I think the shine on 3 looks gold to me.
Okay, number 3 is your guess. Locking that in. Unfortunately, that's incorrect. Sorry, $5 fine, my friend. That's actually Madonna with Child by Choe. Little bit before Kliment's time. So good guess. Good guess. Let's see. How about we, Bob Judevine? You still with us? I don't think you've played this game yet.
Oh, do I get to pay $5?
Oh, you get to pay $5. Yeah. Thank you, sir. How about Bob? Bob, you with us?
Hey, good morning, Simon. I'm with you.
Okay, 50-50 chance here. You got 1 or 2. 1 or 2. What'll it be?
Delightful. Well, I'm gonna go with number 1, I think, Simon.
Number 1. Oh, I won again this week. Yay. That, unfortunately, is Sunflowers by Vincent van Gogh. One of his real popular pieces there. Unfortunately, that was not it either. That's a $5 fine. The center one, Auditorium and the Old Berg Theater, that in Vienna, that was by Gustav Klimt. Usually he does a lot of pictorials of people with a lot of gold, but this is this really beautiful photorealism piece. So yeah, sorry, bud, $5. Can you do it? You can do it. Look at him. Thank you. You guys are champions. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Bob, for playing along this week. Okay, let's keep this show on the road here. Oh, hey, zoom in. And all right, the weekly recognition. Who are we going to recognize this week? Look at all these fine Rotarians we have recognized. Guesses? No? Let's move on. How about Rotarian Angela Johnson? Yeah, Angela. Did you know Rotarians are probably tired of hearing about politics these days with the upcoming election? Well, here's something we can all agree on. Angela Johnson for president, right? She is our president-elect soon to come. As Franklin Pierce, the 14th US president, said, while people inhabiting different parts of this vast continent cannot be expected to hold the same opinions, they can unite in a common objective and sustain common principles. And as principal of Rio Del School District, Angela not only supports the Common Core standards, but is a shining example of Rotarians' common principles, or as we call them, the 6 areas of focus, which one area, not surprisingly, is supporting education. And a good politician should have a good sounding name as well, as a respected family. Well, 2 of our 45 US presidents have had the last name Johnson, and not to mention both the Henricks and Johnson family names are loved and cherished in our local community for their philanthropy and altruistic qualities. It is no wonder why our club has decided to select Angela Johnson as their president-elect. So after her excellent work a few weeks ago as our fine master, I am confident that we are going to be in good hands. So everyone, let's give a big round of applause or stick up some spirit fingers for Angela Johnson. Woo! Angela, this presidential illustration has to be an election worth as much as a trip to the snack shack at a Little League game for the entire family, right? maybe?
Depends on if you're COVID or not, because the trip to the snack shack right now is 0. So we'll talk about actually playing baseball. How's that sound? So,
yeah, that sounds great. Let's pretend.
And if I'm sending my kid to the snack shack, it's probably $20.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Thank you, Angela.
Thank you.
All right, let's see. I think that's it for our program today. Is there anything else that Rotarians want to bring to the table before I do the raffle here? No? Okay. We're going to have draw a ticket, then a ball. Hey, Ruth Ann, has this changed at all? No. If I forget this, people quickly remind me. Okay, let's see. We still have it. The pot is growing. I mean, it's going to be a phenomenal chunk of cash when whoever wins the
$120.
Woo! That's 6 trips to the snack shack. And ooh, Mr. John Sapper, your name got drawn. What's it going to be? Which ball will be drawn? Will the money go? It is, it's a white ball. Oh, it's a Craft Talker $25 fine, John. Let's see. Can I get it in there? There we go. What do you want to do? Craft Talk, $25.
No question. I'll give you $25.
$25. Hot dog. Thank you so much. Okay. Well, I really appreciate everybody coming to these meetings every week. It's such an awesome thing. And today we had just a marvelous program. Thank you very much. It looks like she had to leave, but Pernille was amazing. Thank you, Program Chair Aaron Dunn, for putting that together. I think you'll see more exchange students making appearances in the months to come. So be looking out for that. And please.
And thanks, Simon. I'm glad that I won the drawing.
Yeah. Goodness. But just keep top of mind what we can do right now to help our community, what we can do. We're going through some really challenging times now. What can we do as Rotarians to be people of actions? How can we take the lead? What are some things we can do? Walt had a phenomenal idea and we just saw it right through the finish line. Let's come up with more good ideas. Let's be creative. In challenging times, there's always opportunities. And I know that we've got such a great club that there is just a wellspring of knowledge, institutional knowledge and ideas. So keep thinking about that. All right. Well, I think it'll be time to ding the bell unless anybody has anything to say before we part. All right. Thank you for joining us. This club meeting is adjourned.
Bye, Ruth Ann. Great to see you.
Nice to see you, Ruth Ann. Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks for letting me crash the meeting.
Oh, anytime, please. It was great.
Say hi to Doug.